A rear-wheel drive car is always fun and more so when it's a pickup truck. In this case, the Isuzu V-Cross. While some may question us on the feasibility of a 4x2 on an adventure vehicle, the truth is that there are buyers out in the market who need a lifestyle vehicle, one that's got the right appeal and the right attitude. These customers don't really venture into hardcore off-roading, but they need the convenience of an automatic for city use and during mild adventure needs. And hence this one. Looks great as well, right? Especially in this shade of red. Now before we get into showcasing the capability of this 4x2, let's have a look at the place where customers will be spending a lot of time.
Now in this pricing of 23 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily, a lot of SUV options in the market, they will spoil you with good interiors and a long list of features. But do understand, this is not a typical SUV. It is an adventure lifestyle vehicle, and hence the number of features are going to be limited. For example, no cruise control. This is the entry-level V-Cross, and at even this price, omission of a cruise control in my books is not a good thing, because people will be using this for long distance driving, for touring, for planning that special trip, and cruise control definitely comes in handy. Likewise, the infotainment system, the touchscreen is a bit too dated, but on the plus point, the sound quality, the audio quality is pretty good for a standard unit. In terms of the features you get, well, there is a proper keyless entry with push button start. You have a climate control coming in over here. We're driving the automatic, so a 6-speed automatic. The driver info display is sufficiently loaded with the right information. You have your place to keep your sunglasses, and of course, lot of practical touches. For example, these cup holders on the either sides of the AC vents to keep your beverages cool. You have your cup holders over here, place to keep your mobile phone right over here, and this is also where you have a few dummy switches in case you want to have a few add-ons like extra lights or a professional communication setup. So you do have your dummy buttons going in over here. A twin glove box concept, very useful, and the upper glove box also houses your charging outlet that supports up to 120 watt. The glove box under this, you have sufficient space to keep your knickknacks. At the same time, the door pads, they aren't very generous, so even keeping a typical 1 liter bottle is a tough situation. They are not very wide for bottles. In terms of visibility, in terms of the comfort, I stand 6 feet tall with a healthy build. Seats are really good. Been driving the car for the last couple of days, and a huge plus point from a short driver's point of view is that the fascia, the dashboard, it's pretty low. It's not in your face. So in congested driving situations or in a tight spot, you don't feel hammered in. Visibility is really a USP plus point of the V-Cross. So up front, from a driver's perspective, I'm happy. Ergonomics are nice. You have your grab handles to get inside a car. It's very common for a pickup. Large outside view mirrors, large windshield. So visibility is sorted, comfort is sorted, space is pretty much sorted. But yeah, do understand, in this kind of a segment, you don't get too many features to spoil you, which the Celtas and Cretas of this world do you. Now I'm going to place this seat for my height, 6 feet tall from a driving position. Perfect. And I'll go at the back to show you the amount of space you get for your family or friends. Now this isn't a bad place to be for a 5-seater with a good amount of open boot over there. I think for tall people, a tall driver and a tall passenger, this is pretty decent, around 3 inches of space. So if in your scene, if the driver is going to be short or your friends are shorter than me, I think ample space over here. A good armrest, the cup holder is going over there. Unfortunately, there are no AC vents. Now, for example, the Toyota Hilux, the review is already all 9. I know it's much more expensive, but that's got rear AC vents, and anyone paying so much, few things you always require. Rear AC vents are a must for the Indian summer. You have a charging outlet over here. You have your seat pockets over here. Visibility is nice, no two ways about it. The central tunnel is not too high for the 5th passenger. So yes, in this term, sorted, space sorted, comfort is pretty nice. But yeah, the omission of AC vents at this price point, and also for a 5th passenger, there is no rear headrest. So that's a bit of a safety concern, because you're going to be banging the rear of your head with the glass window, so that is missing. Coming in and out of the car, it is a tall, high pickup vehicle, so you do need some effort, but once inside, you will be higher than most other cars on the road, and that really gives you the joy of being in an adventure vehicle. And one of the biggest USPs of a pickup lifestyle adventure truck is the massive amount of usable space. Now, it does happen a lot of times that we want to go out with a family for a weekend camping. just take our stuff like a chair or a lot of picnic items, or even go for that long 1 week trip to Spiti, or 20 days from Bangalore to Ladakh to Bangalore. So this is the amount of usable space you can have. You can even put your cycles, you can put an ATV, you can put a motorcycle, lots of space. Plus, if just imagine I have a beach in front of me, or I have snow peaks in front of me. What do I want to do? I want to get inside the pickup, place my chair over here, grab my drink, just imagining, have a seat and enjoy nature. So this is what sometimes pickups are all about, without even having the need for a 4x4.
Now, when Isuzu replaced the older engine with the smaller 1.9 turbo diesel engine, a lot of people and so-called customers, they criticized the company, they were questioning the company on the reduction of the size of the motor. But having driven the 1.9 4x4 automatic a few months back, and now driving the 1.9 4x2 automatic, happy to report that for most customers, the grunt, the performance, the torque is there. Yes, the gearbox is slightly on the lazy side, but I have been using the car for the last few days, urban runs, traffic, off the road trails. I didn't find a reason to complain. Of course, if you drive the car with a full load, the AC running, and on uphill stretches, you might feel the lack of outright punch. But yeah, otherwise, good motor. When you want to close in on gaps, it happens, apart from the slightly lazy gearbox. We did do our share of off-the-road trails. In spite of being a 4x2, it handled that very well, including a few rocky uphill sections. So ample torque was there, and there is an efficient side of the engine. In Delhi NCR, with flowing traffic, the display always registers 13 to 14. Even in traffic, it never goes down under 11. So the plus point of the small motor, although 160 bhp, ample torque as well, it is very efficient. And in today's era of sky high diesel prices, I think this efficiency will keep people happy. Ride quality when driven alone, like right now, yes, there is the bounce factor coming in. I think you can make out if there is no load in the car, it will tend to bounce over the smallest of undulations like cement joints, or the joints on the flyover, the cement blocks and everything. Yes, it does move around. However, with the load, it improves. Off the road, on trails, if you go slightly fast, the issue is that it tends to move vertically. There is the movement, there is the bounciness, and you need to get used to that, and then you can start pushing the car. Of course, this one does not get the traction control and all the driver aids, it being the entry-level V-Cross, so keep that in mind. But it's very capable of the road, as you, I think, can see in the footage right now. Rocky terrain, uphill stretches, middle of nowhere. I thought the rear would spin. That's not the case. Ample weight at the rear. The tires are nice. So even in a 4x2 format, I think this will take you places where you want some weekend peace, or take you to Ladakh. 99% of local cars in Ladakh or Spiti are 4x2s, by the way. So 4x4 is only when you need some hardcore off-roading, when you know you're gonna be plowing in snow or with your mates exploring 4x4 trails. That is when 4x4 is required. But for most of the needs, I think 4x2 is more than enough, and I'm happy. Visibility is nice, large windows, engine is good, efficient. It's on the louder side. If you go pedal to metal, it does become loud. I will not deny that. But I think overall as a product, I'm happy with the performance, happy with the dynamics. Brakes could be slightly better. But yeah, if you're looking to upgrade from your so-called pseudo SUV to this one, you will love the appeal, the attitude. By the way, when you want to go fast, flat out, this is not a slow pickup. For the engine size, it does 0 to 100 in less than 12 seconds. Have a look. So here we go. A lot of wheel spin. Remember, हम drive mode में हैं, not in the manual right now. Okay, we are at 100. थोड़ा सा और करेंगे. That's it. Let's just slow down and have a look at the actual figure. So 0 to 100 is 11.54 seconds. That's pretty fast for a 1900cc.
And that brings us to the end of this video and a lovely day with the 4x2 yet so much capable V-Cross. As you can see, the last half an hour has been wonderful exploring these trails and these broken roads and in the middle of nowhere outside of Gurgaon. I never could imagine Gurgaon is home to such places. We are in mini hills as well. Now the summary, yes, standalone, I do agree 23 lakh rupees is a lot of money. You do get good options in the segment 5-seater luxury feature loaded SUVs, but I don't think those SUVs have the kind of appeal, the kind of adventure, the kind of macho-ness that the V-Cross offers you. And those SUVs of course cannot get you to places like these. It's high up the ground, it is abuse friendly, good articulation, good torque, yet efficient, and a vehicle that gives you happiness and goosebumps at the same time. A vehicle that will ensure that every night when you park it in your parking, you will glance again and again while walking back towards your house. That is what the V-Cross is all about. So just to summarize, if you're in the market for an adventure vehicle that is sufficiently loaded, it's comfortable, good engine, it's efficient, it is reliable, it's got a abuse friendly suspension, it's practical for your camping needs or to stuff whatever you want for a month-long road trip, this one does it all with the convenience of an automatic. If you don't need a hardcore 4x4, guys, this one is highly recommended from me and all of us at 91 Wheels.